I really wanted to get this Rödlöga out in bigger open water, but where I live in Central Oregon, there's not actually a lot of bigger open water. We got a couple high alpine lakes, and I just didn't have a ton of time today. So I took it out in the standard Deschutes River spot where I do a lot of paddling, and it's actually the perfect fun boat for this. I don't want to stop, and it's just like in and out of the little eddies and making my way upstream here. It's just a fun boat. The paddling station for me, I'm really enjoying, even though this is the high volume. So this is 16 and a half and 21 and a quarter wide, and then the low volume is 15 and 3/4 feet long and a 20.5 inch beam and a shallower deck, which I think would be ideal for me for just kind of day. But this high volume for me at 6 feet, 165 pounds is like definitely the pick that I would go with for like a true touring boat where I'm actually putting gear in it and wanting a little bit more comfortable station. Speaking of the station, the thing I love, this water bottle holder up front is out of the way and yet still accessible. It's like a feature that seems kind of gimmicky when you walk up to it, but then you're like, God, that's great. I don't have to put my water bottle in my life jacket or under the skirt. It's right there for this kind of paddling, just a little bit of a fitness upstream. It's perfect. Well, let's get into it. It's a perfect fall day. It's kind of cool. I'm wearing some of my level 6 gear that I'll highlight. I love this top because I can start paddling and it can be, you know, cold. I can open it up, off gas a little bit, but if it starts to rain, I've got a nice built-in hood here, cold hands, I've got that. This thing is my new go-to paddling top. Pretty much put this thing underneath a waterproof layer and you would be snug as a bug. You can see a beautiful fall day here. Last time I was here around this time of year, I had a bear come right down the shoreline to my right and come get a drink of water. Didn't know I was nearby, and I was able to watch him before he took off. All right, upstream we go. Well, I don't care who you are, looking off over the bow of your kayak is part of the therapy for me. And that is just a pretty bow. The day hatch is out of the way, it recessed down. There's that water bottle holder, totally out of the way of my stroke. A beautiful wood grain up top. It's just a fun boat to watch cut through water. And that's part of the story. I jumped out of the boat here because I wanted to climb up there and take a shot from above. So I'm gonna bushwhack up through here and see if I can get up these rocks. The things I do for YouTube. Here we go. There we go. How am I gonna get up this and get down it? Oh, let's see. Oh, look at that. This is such a cool spot. And it's only like 20 minutes from my house. Thanks for joining me on this one. It's been a hell of a year. I just took a pretty hard break from paddling, partially because I'm writing all of next year's orders for dealers and it's been hard. A lot of the dealers feel their crystal ball is broken and they don't know really what to do. So kind of when you don't know what to do, sometimes you do nothing, which I realize is a choice. Doing nothing is as powerful a choice as doing something. And choosing not to paddle for a month or more, or maybe even 2, or not paddle much, was a choice, doing nothing. And I missed it tons, and this is the therapy, and I'm so psyched to have that boat down there because it's just something totally different and new, and just has that, I don't know what it is, on the water. It just has this like, this feels good. And so I think I'll be spending a lot of time in this boat, both the high volume and the low volume. And thanks for joining me here on this beautiful fall day. Let's get at some more. Make sure I can get down there without falling. Everywhere I put this boat, it just looks so cool in the reeds. found this basic seat really comfortable. It's just simple back band, little pad, nice pan. You could add more foam easily or build it up, but it was fine for me. Definitely the only way to do this is the old straddle. Clean my feet off. 21 1/4 wide, and you can straddle it like this. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm in. Okay, that was an adventure that I'm not sure was worth it. Yes, it was worth it. Just super predictable. What I'm really excited about with this Melker is the shift toward eco kayaks, sustainability in mind. So Melker is going to be making these out of flax, basically a composite material like a fiberglass roll, but it's made out of flax, basically plant, and then bio-resins with a cork mat in the areas where stiffness is needed. So it's kind of cool because you got this pretty beautiful boat, you know, that just has this feeling inside when you paddle it and you look at it and you're looking off your bow, you're like, ah, it just matches the environment. And then in the back of your mind, you just can't help but remember that this thing has a push towards sustainability. It's really cool. Also, one of the things that Melker's doing, and you can see this on their socials, is they are 3D printing out of basically plastic made out of trees, kind of a bio pulp. They're 3D printing all their prototypes. So this is, you know, again, 16.5 feet long, but they're coming out with a 13 and 14 footer, and they've been able to 3D print out of this bioplastic to make a test model and test. And that's kind of the dirty little secret in the industry, you guys. I can't tell you how many kayaks go from computer to mold to build, and then basically the people that design it paddle the finished product and be like, what do you think? And they're kind of stuck with it. This is a really neat way for Melker to refine and get, you know, exactly the design. There are kayaks in production today that basically are mistakes. You know, mistakes were made and there was really nothing to do because the mold was already made. So I'm also really excited not only about, you know, the biomaterials being used, sustainability, but also the fact that the technology that Melker is employing with 3D printing is allowing them to have a more advanced prototyping process to make sure the boat is right the first time. So very cool. The other thing that I really enjoy from this, it kind of reminds me of my early days repping when decks were a bit lower, especially in this 4 region. I do not have that classic high stroke that I know everybody teaches. My shoulders are worked and I like it down here, and it's just out of the way. The skeg adjustment being right there, but recessed out of the way. That forward deck out of the way. Forward deck hatch is totally out of the way. The water bottle holder or bilge pump is forward. I can reach it still, but totally not in the way of my stroke. And I have zero problem getting into the day hatch. So it's just a well-configured deck for me, especially my style. Super nice and low profile here along the sides, and that nice cutaway here as well. Okay, I dropped the rudder. It's got the gas pedal style, so it's really nice. So when you're not using it, you still, you know, you have a nice firm spot to push. And it's just been nice because I was going downstream and I was trying to film some ducks and able to just be hands-free and steer a little bit better. And then of course, the skeg handle is recessed right in here. So you've got both. No need to have an argument here. What do you want? But it's nice to have this rudder. You know, I didn't use it for the whole upstream, but just going downstream, thought I'd play with it and came in handy. Easy to put back. Okay, that's a wrap for me. Got to go pick up the kid from school. I just had a great time. I certainly had stuff to do this morning. I played hooky and it was well worth it. My thoughts here is like, you guys see on my channel, if you've been a subscriber or watched, I do a lot of North Star canoe content. Part of the reason I love those canoes is they perform so well, but also when you're in them, they just have a heart and a soul to them. It just makes you happy. And hopefully that comes off in this video. They're beautiful. And like, you can't deny that part of this sport and part of this recreation is just therapy on water. And this is, if you're in a therapy's office, this is a really comfy couch. Really happy. I hope to get out and show this up and down the West, and hopefully we'll have some more boats to sell and show dealers here soon.